Good. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. So, who is here, who is not? The ones who are not, say hello. All right. Go Fast Clad 97 says, hello, everyone. There is no one here but you and I. Go fast. So don't go so fast. 'Cause it's only you and I. It's a private meeting here. So, what's happening? Oh, there it is. Tombstone is here. Hello, Tombstone. Good to see you, dear. And thank you. I'm good. I just had a. He says, "Hi, Meran. How is it going?" Well, I just had a good, heavy training today, and then I had a super delicious um, shake, protein shake. There's a place nearby, right by the ocean front. It's a supplement and a protein bar juice place, fresh juice and everything. And they have this mean, um, um, what is it? Forgot the word. Shake, protein shake with fresh pineapple and all vegetarian base and different seeds in it, 19-gram protein, and it was pretty, pretty nice. And then yeah, the workout was pretty good. I'm beginning to feel it now. It was just a few hours ago. Oh yeah, oh yeah, Tombstone. At my age, I gotta work out heavier, and I always was where I was always apprehensive to do a good back workout. I would do back workout, but not. I would omit certain things because I wasn't good at it, and I was hesitant because I didn't know what's the safest way and best way to do it. And my son taught me just about a couple of weeks ago, and he said, "Dad, you better take care of the back because I don't see the muscles that you used to have back there. So you got to do the back training. So let me show you." So I got the proper technique from him, and I started doing the lift offs from the place, and then also now I do it from the ground, and it's very, very good for the back, and I feel much better and feel stronger. So it's very good to know the proper technique and get used to it. I gradually worked into it from no weight, just a bar, and then the rest of it. So on. So now I'm having tea, talking to you guys, and then every night I go about 8 to 12 kilometer of fast walk by the ocean every night. Last night was 8.5 kilometers. Tonight I'll go after our discussions. Go Fast says, "How old are you? I want to get my father into weight training." Yeah, I am 66. And all my life, my training has been classic training, such as tennis, swimming, horseback riding, martial arts. But weight training came late into my life. Like the first time I did it, I was 38. And then, of course, for a while, I did it religiously, but then I put it aside um, for a long time. And then years back, about maybe 6, 7 years back, I started back again, slowly came back. And then the gyms, closed and all that for the things that you know. But anyhow, back and forth. But I am now in pretty good shape as far as training is concerned. Yeah. So yeah, I can't complain. I'm doing as best as I can. Especially the older you get, the if you have if you have a good foundation for sports and workout, you should continue. Tell your dad that on his level, gently start him out gently, because his muscles, if he hasn't done it before, he's not ready. You don't want it to get injured. So gently, proper weight, not so much, just for him to get the mechanics, and also gradually proper techniques. Show him, work with him, spot for him, but don't try to show off on him your powers, and just slowly, gently help him. Don't encourage him to go heavy until he feels ready, and he'll do whatever he has to do for his age. I don't know how old your dad is, but take care of him. Uh, oh, yeah, definitely work out. Any kind of sport gives you that neurotransmitters, dopamine, and you're socializing with friends. So there's the oxytocin there, and the serotonin. All these makes you happy and feel good, and brings the balance in the chemistry of your biology, and fixes up and helps and repairs lots of things, specifically your mood and tranquility in the mind. Plus, if we add some meditation, the meditation can be as simple as just focusing on the flow and the sensation that breathing creates through your nostril. That's all. Just focus, be with it, accompany the air, the oxygen. When you breathe in, see it, feel it, caressing your nostrils, coming in, and be with it, feel it, see it, going out, flowing out. So feel the flow in, feel the flow out, stay with it for a few minutes, as long as you want, but stay with the flow. Accompany the flow in, the flow out. And a huge difference in the creating GABA neurotransmitters, which GABA neurotransmitters is now found out, and researchers have found out, scientists have found out, that is responsible for managing depression and anxiety and intrusive thoughts. GABA neurotransmitter, and it's created about up to 27.9 or 30% more when you do meditate. So these are very important things to help yourself. It's not just about exercise and eating right, sleeping right. It's also about meditations and so on. Sorry with that. All right. Rabbit says, hello, Meron. Hello, Rabbit. Don't you guys forget about the protocol, age, gender, where you're tuning in from. Please. Tombstone says, hey, Meron, what's your favorite kind of tea? This is one of my favorites. Oh, it's got the green packet, so the background is gonna show it to you as if it's an oceans of Hawaii. It's a decaf green, but I like them caffeinated too. Just the other greens, and I love them. I love green tea these days. I used to drink black tea all the time, but now and then for a while just herbal tea for a few years. But then I got tired of the taste, and I drink green tea now. Different kinds of green tea, jasmine tea sometimes, rarely, but then matcha green tea, puka, and then regular green tea, and then decaffeinated green tea. Rabbit says, I'm female, 25 from Florida. Hello, dear Florida, land of free. No bullshit there. Everybody's enjoying their freedom and no forced. So, still, freedom of choice exists there. And Morgan Freelancer says, Hi, Miran, male 28, Ireland. Hello there. What the hell are you doing up so late? What is it? It's it's 1 a.m., isn't there, Morgan? And Go Fast Clad 97. Don't forget your protocol, age, gender, where you're tuning in from. Everybody, regardless, I know you are not somewhat, or we have discussed on private consultation or not. I forget the age and where you guys are tuning in from. So help me out there. Rabbit says, I kept looking for the evidence he may be cheated. And for that, A dash HA, aha moment. For that aha moment, like you cheated, not her. I knew it. Broke up for other reasons, but every time I pass by the restaurant, am I missing a part of this? It's kind of like, oh, there it is. Rabbit says, when I was dating my ex boyfriend, he told me he got cheated on by the girl he dated before me and gave me sob stories while we dated. After a while, I had a feeling that HE cheated on her instead. And she says, I kept looking for the evidence he may cheated. It may have maybe cheated. And for that aha moment, like you cheated, not her. I knew it. Uh-huh. I broke up for other reasons, but every time I passed by the restaurant, he said he found his ex cheated on him. I keep thinking about this. Why was I and am I still trying to find out if he was the one cheated or not? Why am I looking for the answer? It's a good question. Why are you? What difference does it make? You're not with the guy, but perhaps it's because you don't trust the guy anyhow. Something about him, it doesn't bring any trust into your heart. Maybe his behavior, maybe the way he talks, maybe the things you've seen, maybe the fact that he keeps saying that. So, regardless, if you want to stop these thinking, as I mentioned before, there are two ways, a few ways to stop thinking. And for that, we first must focus on what is thinking. Well, I've discussed it in just recent live streams, but I try again here. What is thinking? When somebody asks you, what's your name? You just say rabbit. Or maybe you say, if that's your name, but I know it's not. So somebody asks you, what's your name? Say rabbit. Where you come from? Florida. These are not thinking. These are instinctive responses that is available to you, and you blurt it out just like that. No thinking is involved. Well, when someone asks you how long does it take to go from Florida to Japan, and you have an aircraft two engine, 55 passengers, and this is how much gas it needs, fuel it needs to per hour or per whatever, and these are the horsepowers of the engines. So how long does it take to go to Japan? For that, you need to do certain calculations and figuring it out. That figuring out and calculation to come up to an answer according to the question, that process from the time that is posed to you to the time that you come up to the answer of how long it takes to get to Japan, that's thinking. And when you get the answer, thinking stops because there's no more mandate. There's nothing else is requested. But how else do you also have the thinking stop? Is when you actually try to figure out the answer, and after a bit of a calculation, you're lost, you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to calculate it, so you simply give up and say, I don't know. And when you say, I don't know, the brain gets a mandate, shuts down, because it has gotten the order that I don't know. So once it received that, then it stops because it's been told. Because you see, brain is not smart. Brain is dumb. Brain doesn't know that on its own it can figure it. It can't. A brain is like a car, but there must be a driver to steer it, to tell it where to go. It has an engine, but if you just put it in gear, it will go, but it doesn't know where it goes. And it hits and crashes into something. But when you're sitting in there and you're navigating, you will go where you want to go. The brain is the same. It's dumb. It's stupid. It doesn't have any understanding. It guesses things. That's why it comes up with intrusive thoughts, constant thinking, because it doesn't know that it should stop. It can't get anywhere or where to go, how to calculate it until you tell it. You navigate it. You add this to this, you multiply this to that. And these are the things that you have figured it out. And if you think that, oh, well, but isn't that the brain has all this? No, it doesn't. Why? Because in many of the neurosurgery and neuroscientists who have, through neurosurgery, tried to probe and figure out the abilities or the structure of the brain, how it functions. For example, Dr. Speary, Dr. Penfield, Dr. Owen, Dr. Libet, these are brilliant Nobel Prize winning experiments. And Dr. Penfield from Montreal in 1960s, he actually could probe the brain when the brain surgery is open, because brain doesn't have any pain receptors. You can't feel pain when they're operating on the brain. Of course, when they're trying to get to it, the anesthesia and all that necessary. But once they're in, it does. So it would probe different parts of the brain. And for example, if you would probe the occipital point, then you could maybe see some kind of a light, like the eyes would react. Or somewhere else, the motor, maybe you would be able to move your hand. The patient would move hand. Or if it would stimulate somewhere else, maybe a sound or speaking of sound would be created. But they could never localize a philosophical center. They could never localize or stimulate a part of the brain that would cause a patient talk politics. Or they couldn't localize a math center. Where's the calculation? They couldn't localize something about your consciousness, that you could change your habits, or that you could change your philosophical point of views, or you could change your certain anything to do with your intellect. They could not localize an intellect center. They could not localize a math center. So when when you tell the brain that I don't know, or you try and you can't figure it out, and therefore you say I don't know, the brain gets a signal that you should stop because there's nowhere to go. I don't know where to go. And the other way to stop is when actually you don't even try to figure it out, to do calculation, then come up with the reasonable answer, logical answer, if you didn't know how to figure it out, to say, I don't know. You just simply don't want to know. So you say, I don't want to know. That means you don't even want to try to do any calculation to figure it out. And even if you maybe clearly know how to do the math and how to get that answer, but you just choose not to. So you say, I don't know, or I don't want to know. Again, thinking stops. So once you understand this, that the key in stopping this is for you to say, I don't want to know. But as long as you say, I want to know, then you keep looking at that restaurant. You keep trying to figure out if you saw any evidence. And that's just waste of your life. Because what's the benefit of you knowing or not knowing? You've done the right thing or whatever it is that you thought is right. You got rid of the guy. The relationship is broken. It's not there. So if it's not there, what benefit do you get or what harm is it there, whether you know it or not, whether he cheated on the girlfriend or he didn't? What does it have to do with you right now? None. So free yourself instead of allowing the brain to run wild and go on the negative tangent or on the search for nothing and no mandate, but just run around. It's like it's like you just running around. You don't know why you're running around. Don't have a destination, but just go running around. What for? So stop that by saying, I don't want to know. I don't care. Don't give a damn. That's pretty much, I think, you should handle it, or you could handle it. Tombstone says, well, all right, Maran, I got to get going. It was nice to hear from you. Again, have a fantastic, thank you very much, Tombstone. Take good care of yourself, and thanks for being here and sharing a few moments of your time with us. Morgan Freelancer says 2 a.m. Ah, yes, 2 a.m. So it is 6 o'clock, 2 a.m. 8 hours difference. You're 8 hours ahead. Says, when I'm hanging out, Morgan says, with friends, my HOCD can make me feel very uncomfortable, and this can compound my social anxiety, leading those around me to doubt me and my intentions. Any advice? Thanks. Well, you're trying to think, you're trying to follow your brain thinking instead of making the brain understand that you actually don't care, don't give a damn. So your anxiety comes because you interpret whatever it is that comes to your head. Don't interpret them. If something, some feeling or some thought comes up that is uncomfortable for you, so understand that the brain is separate from you. So say, so be it. I don't care. You know, you're you're thinking what will happen if I actually think about what the suggestion of the brain is. So I shouldn't be looking at that person, at that friend of mine, at that guy. In fact, you can look at them, you can imagine them naked. So break that anxiety of, oh, what would happen if a thought of their nakedness come to my mind. You just bring that into your head. So yeah, naked. They're like me. I've got dick, they've got dick. And you can look at any part of them and make that to be something not that it's frightened of because there's a brain interpretation thought attached to any of these things that is normal for anybody to notice, look, pass by, or whatever. But you have created it that if I look what the brain says, it might mean that I am this way or that way. None of that shit matters. Just look at them when they pass by. I don't know, look at their ass, look at their dick, look at their face, look at their anywhere. And after a while, your brain says, well, every time he looks at it, there's no danger to it, there's no repercussions, there's nothing. And eventually it loses that anxiety that always was created by the thought of the brain rather than you focusing that there is no anxiety necessary here. What's the danger there? Whatever my brain is suggesting, I am the master to decide and choose or veto whether I want to follow the suggestion of the brain that is not within my values, or would I choose to veto it, says it's not within my values, so I don't care what you say, brain. But because you didn't focus that you're the boss and you have the ability to veto or choose something, as we all do during the day, different things, or as what the brain could suggest or bring to your brain, and you say, well, that's not for me, or that's not. It's just like you going anywhere to buy something and you say, this product is not for me, that product is not my size. That you veto many things and you decide on what is suitable to your values and your purpose. Same thing, if the brain suggests a thought, you say, well, this is not in line with my values, so I have no problem, no need for paying attention to these thoughts. And instead of focusing on the fact that you have a choice and you have the power to give life to a thought or let it die by the wayside by ignoring it to the thought, you've been thinking, because a thought is suggested, it must mean something about me and I shouldn't avoid noticing that thought. No, it just gives you an HOCD thought. So you look at that guy and look at him anywhere you want. And after a while, you see nothing happens when you keep looking. Nothing happens. What are you afraid of? Then after a while, those suggestions would be easier to ignore them than become anxious about, oh, a suggestion was made. So what? All right. Rabbit says, thank you so much. I will free myself and will not care. Yeah, because why should you? What benefit does it have? Just waste your time. Whether the guy cheated or not, who gives a shit? Who the fuck is he that your life is dependent on knowing what he did? What significance does he have in this life, in this world? What has he done for humanity that is so important? His personal life. He cheated or he was cheated on. Who gives a shit? Move on, live your life. Don't give so much importance to people that they don't deserve it, or they're not any part of your life, and they're not a determining factor about anything. And A.A. Hungar says, so Hungar, I don't know how to pronounce it. It says, hello, this is Masood from Toronto. Hello, Masood. What the hell is that kind of a screen name? How can you even pronounce that? Hungar. Says, love your discussions. Help me a lot. I'm 68, divorced, 33 months. Oh, you're finally somebody's older than me, for God's sake. There used to be a time that I was younger than anybody when I was around people. But now I'm older than everybody when I'm around people. So welcome, Ahangar. Oh, actually, if you take the A out, it's Ahangar. That means metal worker, ironwork. So this could stand for what? Ali Ahangar, something like that, or Akbar Ahangar. Your first name must start with an A, and your last name is Ahangar, which means ironworks. Yeah, ironwork. What is it called? Ahangar is I forgot the word. Smith, something Smith. Okay, it doesn't come with me. And so you're divorced 33 months. Oh, 3 months. 33 months. What the hell is that? It's almost 3 years. 3 months. Okay. You're going through a little bit of a deep shit right now, aren't you? Ahangar. Yeah. Ironsmith, yeah. So, how are you feeling? And what kind of a physical shape are you at? If you, according to your level, and provided your doctor allows you and tells you it's okay, do some workout, bring yourself to good shape. It'll give you confidence. And 68, don't worry, we can still get girls. And sometimes some girls, are much, much younger than us, and which you got to be careful because although their feeling could be genuine, but eventually you may get tired of them. They may get tired of you because the age difference, if it's too big, eventually there are certain kind of physical activities that you want to share, such as, I don't know, playing sports and doing stuff. And then if you can't catch up with each other on that front, you may feel bored because the development of the consciousness would be on different levels, and you wouldn't have enough things to bond with in conversations and life experiences, so on. So it could get a little bit artificial. Like you try to put up with things, both of you. The other is trying to look very or behave very logical and mature, and you try to be a little bit childish to measure up and say that I'm still young. It just becomes a bullshit. So choose right, but there's still amazing, beautiful women in their 40s and 50s, and if they, take good care of themselves, got the smarts, they got the, fitness and style, class, responsibility, maturity, they'll work out just fine. But you got to take care of yourself as well. You got to go to the gym to your level. Don't get injured now. Gently, slowly, work it out. And Ahangar says, actually, I'm PhD in urban planning. Okay, that could maybe turn some heads as far as your education and maturity and wisdom is concerned, but girls still would like to see some physical fitness. So I hope that you're taking care of that. And forget about that. The fact that we are at the age that, there's going to be all kinds of repercussions or connections between our health and our function of the organs, blood pressure, cholesterol, and all that. So eat well, drink good nutrition, exercise, get your heart rate up, uphill walking, if anything else, or work out in the gym, and continuous, not just once in a while, continuous, maybe every day, at least half an hour to an hour walk, whether it's uphill or straight, road. Something, do something, keep yourself in shape. Because worst thing to do is that you start feeling old. The age still can be handled, but the feeling old is because of the lack of exercise and sports, and take care of yourself and don't let that happen. The rest will follow. And I guess as what I meant was your program is great. Oh, thank you so much. Delighted that you are enjoying it. I appreciate that. And Ahangar says, I'm happy. Oh, well, okay, then. That's a good place to be. Maybe that's a blessing that you're now separated. You can have, but create mechanical processes for yourself. Create things that you love to do. You always wanted to learn. You always wanted to research. You always wanted to accomplish. Do them. Start doing them. As small, I don't care. Just keep doing things that you love to do. Create new processes, mechanical processes in your life, which creates from that new processes, brings a new routine, and the new routine will result in a new order in life. And in that order in life, your mind finds security. Therefore, because it finds security in the new order that you created after your breakup, it doesn't keep going to the memory, because in the memory, there is a recording of the order that existed before the breakup. And the mind wants security, and it finds security not in physicality, but in the order of things. And since the order is broken because of your breakup, it will be confused, and it keeps going to the memory because the old order is recorded there. And in the memory, it also keeps seeing your ex. And then you desire her because the prerequisite for desire is already recorded in the memory as well. And as soon as she is part of the memory that you become aware of it, the prerequisite for desires that are already recorded in the memory, they start blooming again. They start being reborn, and then you think you're missing her. In fact, you're missing the order, and because you're in the memory, the desire has been born again, which you can avoid that by creating a new mechanical processes and the things you like to do during your day, and create a new order. And then the mind wouldn't have to go to the memory to find the order. You will find security through the order that you have created newly. I hope that will be helpful to you. And he says, I have two girlfriends. If you go for it, go for the third one. But I'm telling you, you're going to be in a big trouble if they find out. So enjoy it. But but I think it would be prudent if you make a choice. Um, don't hoard things. And yeah, and it would be fair to them. You got to know what you like. Yeah. So choose one. Um, but at the moment, if they're okay, if you told them the truth, listen, I've got another one on the go, and they're okay with it, go all out, go crazy. Don't worry about it. Life is short. Mic issues. Okay. So you guys didn't hear anything I said? How long has it been like that? Nobody told me anything? What's wrong with you guys? Is it mute now? Can you guys help me out? Did you guys hear anything I said about after, like, about the things I said about in the order and the mechanical process, and about the two girlfriends that Ahangar has and all that? Did you guys hear any of that? Hmm. For a minute. Okay. Okay. Good, because I ain't gonna repeat the whole damn thing. Okay. Good. And Matthew says, "Hi, I'm Matthew from Saskatchewan, 28 male." Thank you for that. Obviously, you've been here, Matthew, before, because you kindly provided the codes we needed. Male, Saskatchewan, male, 28, Saskatchewan. That's wonderful. Thank you. All right. Now, I thought I'll stay with you guys for a bit till about maybe 7, and then I go for my nightly walk. Usually I take a walk, what, 8 to 12, sometimes 14, 15 kilometer. And if I'm really having the time, I would first do a 3 kilometer uphill, a real uphill. And then I go downhill and go by the beach, and then do another 6, 7 kilometer there. Matthew says it's 8:30 here. Oh, yeah, you guys are Central Time, so you're 2 hours ahead of us. Saskatchewan. Matthew, is Saskatchewan as bad as they say it is? Like there is a war act released there? Is that how un-Canadian it has become, as the rest of Canada is becoming un-Canadian? We're living in the fascism era. They're using laws to deprive us from our rights, our legal rights. War Act, Matthew. We've heard Saskatchewan has declared War Act so they can force anything onto you if they want to, and they can come to homes and all. Is that true, or is it a rumor? I guess it's been beneficial to go. It's art and music societies. It's beneficial to go where? Yeah, I think I'm missing partly. I have two girlfriends. If you approve, then it says discrimination. Matthew says it's a rumor. Oh, glad to hear that. So we haven't gone full on crazy yet. The government is not totally unleashed. So we have, and it says it's snowy as hell over here. Really? You guys got lots of snow right now, eh? Ah, I see what you say, Ahanga. You see, it's beneficial to go in arts and music societies. Okay, that's where you got your two girlfriends. Okay, it's a good advice. And all right. Well, guys, we can sit here and look at each other. That's but if you want, you can ask the questions if you have, because probably for the next 20 minutes, I'll be on my way. Mhm. Sometimes they just come on instantaneously, like for without any previous scheduling it, just to chit chat with you guys. I guess as what you mentioned about information highways in brain helped me a lot. Good, delighted. Ahinga. We've got over 3,000 videos on this channel and probably about 1,500 or maybe close to 2,000 live streams. Lots of talking's gone through here. And I'm delighted to hear that lots of people have been enjoying it around the world. It's a shame that our channel is not visible to most people around the world. They don't find us. That's why after so many years, with such a really good quality, I must say, of content and care, I respond to almost all, if I can find them, if I can see them, comments right away as soon as I can. And I have for years. But despite of it all, people don't find us, and somehow we don't have enough exposure, and our subscription numbers are pretty low. We're just about 24,000, which is pretty sad. So if you have a way to promote the channel and let people know, or share it on social media, or talk about it in chat lines, I'd be grateful, because we can reach more people and help a lot more people, because everything here is researched as much as I could from the reputable sources, and the discussions and personal experiences and the books I've written all have been based on research, which has helped many, many people. But if our channel is not found, well, it can't do the service that I intended. So it would be great if you guys can somehow, whatever way you find, promote the channel. If you could. Didi Berry is here. Says hello, sir. Hello, Didi. We've got 10 people here. That's whopping big number, isn't it? We just have to put a few zeros in front of it, then we're good to go. It's funny when I see other channels have a live stream. I mean, the most silliest live stream that one could find has thousands of viewers at that moment, but we get like 10. I really don't know what's going on. I don't know if my nose is too big or too small, or I've got two heads. I don't know. Somehow they're avoiding this channel, or I don't know what's going on. Somehow the algorithm doesn't recognize us. So it's a very slow growth, trying to be, popularize the channel for its contents. Ahangar says your science is sound. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It took quite a number of years not putting my own personal life experiences, which is, from adult times like 50, 45, 48 years old of experiences. And then the thorough scientific research and philosophical research that I've done for past 10 years, 11 years. We've been helping people all around the world, whether on videos, on live streams, or private discussions on Skype. As you all know, I have a site, mindthatseekstruth.com. Mindthatseekstruth.com. You can go on it and make a appointment for a consultation, one-on-one on Skype, what's concerning you. And we've been doing that for years. But I would like to see a lot more subscribers so they could get all this information free as it is available, and come to live streams, and still available to talk to me or buy the books to learn. And I've brought the books prices so low, from $100 or $80, which is paper. That's the price because it includes the shipping. We can't change that. But I turn them into ebooks, and the same $100 book, $80 book is for $8.99 or something like that. So enjoy the books if you like, but somehow I want to reach more people to help more people. So I don't know how to get the subscription up, but we could use some help. Anyhow, delighted for the ones who are actually enjoying the channel, and hope that we can reach more people. It's pretty much, I've got another 20 minutes before I say goodnight. So, okay, I hang around and see if you guys have anything to add. We'll definitely discuss it. Didi says, thanks. Me and my wife are back in good terms. I need to stop being so paranoid, thinking that she's cheating on. She's in Africa now, and I'm in Minnesota. I see. I remember now, Didi. So are you doing the paperwork and getting it ready for her to come to you, or is she on some kind of a project? She left from States there, or I don't remember. Was it arranged marriage, or you married, or got to know each other online and got married, and she's now waiting for you to do the paperwork? I don't remember exactly how it was, but whatever it is, well, get her to you as the sooner you can, because you guys can then bond on a different level and enjoy your life. And Didi says, sir, what do you think about material things? Should we pursue it and have a lot of it, What do you think? Absolutely. Why not? Not overly, but enough to make a comfortable life for yourself. You're living in a world that you can see, if you don't have money, you will have rather challenging time because everything you want to do, nothing is free and nobody gives a damn about you. And the whole way that it used to be in the old times that people really cared about each other, whether they had money or not, they were just united in challenges of life. Now they're as independent as they could ever be because that's how the system has been working on them to separate people by creating individualism, independence, separation. Because if you're not united and separated, don't find things common enough among yourselves, then it's easier to control you because everybody would be afraid because they're alone. They're not united. So the government comes down with some kind of regulation and you have no recourse, you have no backups, you have no unity, and they can manipulate you and they scare the shit out of you like they've scared the shit out of everybody else these past 2 years by many different informations that its credibility has been questioned more than often. So, um, how did we get there? Yeah, money. So, definitely you do your best and make as much money as you can. And there's not much to say about that. That's a sure thing. All those old values are gone, pretty much. They've worked hard, these bastards, whoever they are in the world, to make sure those old values are gone. Some of the old values were great, some not, but all the good ones are gone. Didi says yes, yes, definitely. Well, it's something interesting I've noticed, guys. Before, we used to have 50-50 women and men at one point. And sometimes in a live stream, we had more women than men. Now, we hardly have any. Something has changed. I don't know what. We haven't changed our program, but somehow something has changed. We have a little bit less uh, attraction from women, like they don't, or somehow maybe we're just hitting the wrong timing. Because sometimes you do have few women, but we always did have number of women, but nowadays um, mostly guys, which is what the channel started out for guys, for young men, and for all the challenges that they go through in breakups and so on and so forth. But then I got many emails from women and girls. They say, "Look, we like what you're talking about. Please talk to us as well. We want to also participate." And so we kind of made it the discussions to be applicable to everybody. And but now, anyhow, Ohangar says there's a problem with guys being so emotional. Well, this is what they've been pushed into their head these days. They have portrayed in movies and television, sitcoms, and so on, that girls want a guy who's not really a guy. Like he's got more of a appreciation for certain things that the woman appreciate, and that kind of suggested to guys that women appreciate that kind of a attention uh, for the guys that they would be interested in. So methodically, they've changed the men's mentality, young men's mentality, from that rugged manhood and the protective behavior and the way that a heterosexual male is. They've changed them to be a little bit softened up for no good reason. But nowadays, this gone so far the other way that men actually are fleeing away from the left and coming back to their original center, which they like themselves, is part of their nature to be protective, to be, when it's needed, aggressive, and to pay attention to what men throughout the history like to pay attention to, and to be able to say what they want to say, and with proper behavior and proper limitations to express their interest to women, and rather than trying to see what women would want the men behave like or look like, which is not majority of women. They're just a certain group of women that they're being portrayed on movies and television and so on, because they simply want to take the alpha male out of the picture. Once you retrain the male not to be really alpha male, then it would be easier to control the public, because the protectors are subdued through systematic brainwash and propaganda and encouragement, which, of course, we all come in different inclinations, sizes, and shapes and interests, and that is what we are, human being. But trying to promote in such a way that take away what is important to the young male, heterosexual male today, it's a tragedy, and that has to be protected. Everybody has the right to enjoy their inclination and their interests, whether you're heterosexual or homosexual. We're all brothers and sisters. At the same time, just as we want to make sure everybody's protected, the same thing goes with the heterosexual. They also need to be protected from what mentality is their foundation, rather than focusing so much the outside media and trying to control them and turn them into something that their nature is not. And I don't know who's going to benefit from that. Only the ones who want to control us. Take the alpha male out, then it's easier to manipulate the general public, especially women. All right, guys, I think there's no more question here. And I think there's no more question here. I will maybe hang around another few minutes and then say good night and get ready to go for my walk. Ahangar says, my wife got divorced because she couldn't be with an alpha male. Well, that's one of the examples that I've been trying to. The women have been also brainwashed to think that it's actually they want somebody that is not all of them, but some women fall for it, that they want somebody who's not alpha. But then later on in life, they realize that it is the alpha that actually brings the comfort and the protection and that psychological security that is unattainable, but at least to some extent they can enjoy it because they have a man who actually cares about certain things that a man should care about. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to say goodnight. I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and giving the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to the next live stream that we can share information. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.